Welcome to the Pretty Red ENT Show. It's your girl, Goddess Nikita, aka Pretty Red ENT. Make sure y'all follow me on all social media at the Pretty Red ENT Show, but also make sure you come visit my webpage at the Pretty Red ENT Show at podbean.com. I also go live on there too, so if y'all wanted to like tap in and call and ask me questions, join in the conversation that I'm talking about. I kind of figured out how to work it, guys. Y'all know me. I'm not going to do something until I know how to work it to a T. But no, all jokes aside, I really learned how to work my website. So guys, like, please know I'll be on there live. So if you like wanted to come on live and be on the podcast and like ask questions and like talk, like you can too, I'll definitely be on here. Anyways, make a long story short, guys, I want to talk about something. And I want to make sure I help y'all understand how to avoid things in a healthy way. Like, especially when you know, like, people are calling you to provoke you. They might want to argue. Okay? I'm going to show you through me some signs and how I avoid them. So that way y'all know, like, hey, she helped me out. Today is a helping day, guys. I'm going to call this scam or no scam. Okay? Shots fired. Shots fired. So sometimes, guys, people who are high vibration, or even if you feel like you're not, but you are, or you could just be normal. Okay? Let's just talk normal. Let me tell you something. When people sometimes are talking to you, right? And you know that they're having a bad day. You can sense before they even call you, you know that the conversation is off. It's going to be off. Sometimes, guys, people really want to argue with you. Like, I'm that person where people will call me if something is wrong. Okay. And if they know, like, I'm in good positive energy and I'm really high energy, this is what people don't understand. I be really high in energy. And some low vibrational people, they know that. Y'all got to understand that some people can sense that you are on a rise, your energy's up, and they want to come and bring you down to where they are at. How can you avoid this? How can you see this? I'm going to tell you. Today, I got the juice, okay? Shots fired. So let me tell y'all something. What I've been doing lately and what I have noticed, and the universe really thanked me the other day. It was like, ooh, I've noticed what you did. You stiffed arm. I stiffed arm about 5 people. I noticed that some people, they'll call me and they'll want to talk. They'll be like, hey, how you doing? I'll be like, oh, I'm fine. But I say I'm blessed. A person will be like, now, some people like to argue because they're upset and so they want to argue. So here's what they'll do. They'll nitpick at every little thing you say. So, hey, how you doing? I'll be like, oh, I'm blessed, divinely blessed, protected. What's going on with you? Like, how you doing? Now, to me, if you want to ask, how you doing is a very vague question. That means how I'm doing in general. So how you doing? So now you mad at me for asking a question, answering a question that is a general question. How you doing? I'm blessed. Too blessed to be stressed. But if you're asking like, how are you doing in this moment or today, or how you feeling today? That's the question. If you want to know, like, if you want to get an answer like, oh, I'm feeling good today. Like, I'm having a really good day. I'm really blessed today. That is the question that you should ask, and be direct with your questions. Some people don't understand about the direct questions is what I'm making people do when they communicate with me. Hey, you want a direct answer? You have to ask a direct question. Because if you ask me a question where it's general, guess what I'm going to do? Answer it generally. How you doing today? I'm blessed. Oh, okay. All right. Have a great day. And some people be argumentative. They come off in the conversation argumentative. Like, oh, okay. So lately what I've been doing is when people call me and they like to apply energy to me where it does not apply. And you be like, what do you mean by that? Let's talk about it. If you talking to a person, they're saying, oh, you're extra. One or two things is going on. Okay. One, you could probably just be jealous of my extraness. Some people love my extraness. But I don't know what you mean by that. So I'll be asking people, what do you mean by extra? So you know that in a way, I find that this one saying provoking to me. It triggers me. And I know my triggers. That's what people don't understand. I'm a person, I am aware of my triggers. Calling me extra is a trigger to me because a part of me want to argue with you. Like, what do you mean I'm extra? Like, what does that mean? Like, you know what? You're right. Hey, God made me extra. The universe made me extra. Mother Earth made me extra. And I'm going to continue to be extra. So what's up? So then here's where we go. They're ready for this response because people who know and say I'm extra, they know I'm going to respond exactly like that. Why would I not be something that I'm already? God made me extra. God just showed out when I got made. Okay, so here we go. This person hears my answer and they're like, ooh, I can attack. So then they start coming for me. And it's like, oh, you know what? So what I start to do is I say, you know what? Let me call you back. Click. I'm telling you, when people say things about me now, like if I'm in a conversation with a person and we're trying to communicate and have an answer and people like, you know what? Let me talk to you a certain way, right? So I'm like, all right, cool. And they would have called and have a conversation with me. And they'd be like, hey, well, how you doing? I'm like, I'm fine. And then I noticed that the conversation goes on and we're all sitting over here, we're talking. And I'm like, okay, what's really going on? A lot of people don't understand. I really be trying to figure out what's going on with the conversations and different things because I didn't call you and was being mean to you. You actually called me and you started talking, asking me how I'm doing, and I tell you how I'm doing, and now you have a problem with that. Or prime example, with most people, I want to make sure I clarify this. Like people having attitudes. Like you're already mad and I can feel that you are mad. So now when you call me, it's like you want to be mad at me. You're trying to get an argument because maybe the person you were technically arguing with and their energy, maybe you didn't get everything out when you were talking to that person. So you're trying to call me and take out the rest of your frustrations that you really wanted to address with this person. And you try to address it with me. I don't think that's fair to me. So you know what I do? If I notice this, guys, guess what I do? In the conversation. You know what? Let me call you back. I'm not even arguing with people no more. Like if I sense that you want to argue with me or you're trying to start an argument with me, guess what I do? Hang up. You know what? Can I call you back? Let me call you back. And then I guess that's just the way of the universe trying to tell me, you know what? Some people do not need your energy. Some people you got to learn how to set healthy boundaries because some people not even going to be able to reach me anymore. Like, no, baby, you're going to have a middleman to even, and that middleman is going to have a connect for you to even get on the phone and talk to me. What I'm not going to do is tolerate any behavior where you're just arguing with me just to argue with me. Like you're literally starting an argument. I'm telling y'all, I can literally tell a person at any time, like, ooh, this person right here is about to start an argument. Or this person right here is about to start an argument with me. Or this person about to start an argument with you. Watch. Like, and I'm telling you, for any of my old associates, any of my friends, they would tell you I always call people out on it. And it's really weird how I do that. It's like, I'm like, because you could just sense people energy. Like they just want to argue with you. Some people just really want to argue with you. And it's like, why do you want to argue with me? There's so much else to talk about and so much love to be brought into this world. You think I want to argue with you? Like, really? I'm not tolerating that. I'm just not. And that's okay. But what I'm not going to do is tolerate that from somebody who claims that they love me. No, you will not get that from me. I will not argue with nobody. And so lately what I've been doing is, even if I'm in a conversation with somebody and it's provoking, the conversation is provoking, or they're trying to trigger me. Like prime example, I was talking with my mom and my mom was trying to tell me that I didn't feel like I wanted to be darker skinned. And I'm like, I used to pray this. She's like, well, no. But then she tries to like tell me that it didn't happen. And I'm like, oh, it did. And then you give me a moment where you say, well, you don't remember when you used to be outside tanning the line? I used to be like, okay, then you just proved my point. But then you're trying to argue that my point isn't that, and it is. But you know what, mama? I love you. And guess what I'm going to do? LIG, I'm going to let it go. People don't understand that. I'm that person where I'm like, I'm not climbing a mountain with you. If I say what I said and you're telling me that I feel some other type of way than what I told you, what I feel like, guess what's going to happen? Can I call you back? Because people have a habit of doing that too, guys. Like, y'all got to understand something. You got to protect your peace at all costs. Your peace matters. You matter. If people tell you that you don't matter, they're lying. They are lying. They're lying, guys. I'm telling you, you matter at all times. Protect your peace. I tell people, if our conversation ain't elevating me to the place where I want to be, guess what I'm going to do? Move along. I'm not going to argue with you. I'm going to LIG it. I'm going to let it go. And people are like, what do you mean? Why you don't want to talk to me? Like, why you always hanging up the phone? Like, or why you always got to tell me you got to call me back? Because maybe I don't like your conversation. Maybe I feel like you're trying to soak up my energy. You're trying to be in my energy field. And this ain't where you're supposed to be at. So guess what I'm going to do? Continue, move along. Continue, move along. Move along about my day. I'm not giving you none of my energy. You don't deserve my energy. If you are calling me just to provoke me, or if you having a bad day and you want to call me because you know I'm not going to agree with everything you say, and so you call me just so you could argue with me. And there's a lot of people that do that. And don't say y'all ain't never experienced that, because you have, okay? And if you haven't, like, I pray that you don't experience it. I tell you that. Like, I really pray that you never have to experience what I have experienced before. Like, where people literally will call me just to have a provoking conversation. Like, prime example, I had somebody call me, and they know I love Trey Songz, okay? Let me tell you something. This particular person know I love Trey Songz. I have every album of Trey Songz in my Apple Music. I have all his mixtapes. If you know anything about me, my first AA I did was criminal justice. I did a report on Trey Songz. Like, I love that man. I've been loving him since 2008 is when I did that report. I love Trey Songz. If you ever knew anything about Trey Songz, I'm a real Trey fan when he had the braids, but also when Trey was doing mixtapes, because that's how Trey came up, is through his mixtapes. Trey Songz mixtapes is way better than his albums, okay? Because that Intermission 1 and 2, that came from a mixtape, and he made that an album. Yeah, is that good? Yeah, he left off the song that I really like, but Intermission 1 and 2, I love Trey. So a person calls and have a conversation with me, and I'm going to tell y'all how this is provoking and how to pay attention to this. Person calls and have a conversation with me. It's like, oh, yeah, I was like, so how you doing today? I'm doing fine. You know what? Let me tell you, I'm not having a really good day. This person did this at my job and blah, 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 blah. Okay. Starts going in. We start talking about everything, their family, blah, 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 blah. Make a long story short, the first thing I noticed is that even in the middle of this conversation, what they do is, and you know what? The other day, I was listening to 100.1 The Wiz, which is our local radio station in Cincinnati, Ohio. Okay, it's The Wiz. It plays R&B and rap, hip hop. Okay, maybe some jazz. So, and then they were talking about how, you know, Chris Brown is better than Trey Songz. And I'm thinking to myself, like, first of all, I'm a music junkie. Chris Brown and Trey Songz are two different R&B singers. Two totally different R&B singers. Can they both do mixtapes? Yeah. They're both really good. Like, Chris Brown and Trey Songz are better than a lot of rappers. Slap that on something. Like, have you heard Chris Brown rap? Have you heard Trey Songz rap? They are very good. They can do both, but they prefer R&B. So a person's like, you know what? I just think that Trey Songz sucks. And I'm like, okay, well, that's your personal opinion. I personally like Trey. I'm like, hey, have you listened to this song about Trey? Like, it's really good. Oh, you know what? You just think that everything, and this is how they do that. You just think that everything's about you. Like, it has to be your music or no other music. I didn't say that. We're having an open conversation where you're talking about Trey Songz, knowing that I'm a Trey Songz fan. Like, really? Like, real talk? Like, you know I'm a Trey Songz fan. Like, really? So people be wanting you to tone this down. And I'm like, why do I have to tone down my conversation for anybody else? So I noticed that now you're just nitpicking with me, because for a second, I just listened to your problems. I didn't say anything. I maybe said a few things. It could have been in agreement with you. But the moment that we talk about something that you know that I love Trey Songz, so I'm going to go in and I'm like, have you heard this song? Have you heard this song? Like, and now you're like, well, everything's about you. And like, every time we talk, everything's about you. You just so selfish. Like, everything has to be about you. Why does it have to be about you? Why can't we do something else? And I'm thinking to myself, like, I didn't say that. Oh, you know what? I'm going to call you back. I'm telling y'all, you got to understand, I'm going to call you back has been on point for the last 2 weeks. I'm telling you, I have not really climbed any mountains with people. I really been really chilling. Like, whether whoever you are, family, brother, sister, cousin, if I know that you're going to have a conversation with me, you're angry at someone else and you're calling me because you know that I might argue back with you, you won't get that from me this year. 2023, you're not getting that from me. You're going to get, you know what, I'm going to call you back. Or, prime example, we might be having a conversation and a person might be like, oh, you're extra. Or, you know what, you're just full of it. You know what? I don't even want clarity. You know what? Let me call you back. Since I'm full of it and I'm extra, you don't need to talk to me. So I'm cutting off that energy cord. I'm telling y'all, people do this. This is how you set boundaries with people in conversations with you. Oh, if I notice that we only could talk about what you want to talk about, but the moment I want to talk about it, you know what? Can I call you back? You know what? We don't need to talk. Don't call me back. I've been on strictly that. Like, I'm telling you, it's even to the point where, because I do share my podcast. Like, people got to understand, like, you might get a DM. I'd really share my podcast because I really think my podcast is pretty dope. And I talk about spirituality. I talk about real stuff for real. So I really like helping people for real. Y'all got to understand something. I really love helping people. I really love what I do. So I might share it to you. And you text me back knowing, and you say, you know what? I don't really, I'm going to take my time out to listen to it. And then I share my next episode and you say, you know what? I didn't even listen to the first one. Like, oh my gosh, like I feel really bad and this and that. Guess what? I don't care if you don't listen to it. If you told me you were going to listen to my podcast and you didn't, guess what happens? I'm not going to tell you I want you to listen to it. I'm not going to emphasize it. I'm still sharing because sharing is caring and I want my word to get out. But at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, y'all gotta understand something about me. Like, I really be player for real about a lot of stuff. Like, hey, it is what it is. If you share my stuff, you share my stuff. If you don't, then you don't. I don't care. But please believe I appreciate the people who do. I appreciate the people who really like share my stuff, because there's a lot of people who really share my podcast. Real talk. Like, shout out to my sister, Nicole. You feel me? Like, yes. Like, I would call her by her real name. I don't know you, but a lot of people know about Nicole. Shout out to her. Let me clap for my babe. Yes. Sis shares my podcast. And anytime like you talk to her, you call her phone or anything while I'm around her, she be like, you know what? My sister got a podcast. Tap in, listen to her. She dope for real. Like, I really love her. Like, tap in. And so I love stuff like that, because anytime I'm like talking to a person, they ask me something and it's about her business. I'm like, hey, call my sister. Somebody like, I need some treats. Call my sister. She got you on everything, baby. Baby got you. You feel me? Let me clap for that. But the one thing I love about her is that I can have a conversation with her. Or me and her conversations, we go everywhere. It's not the same conversation every single time I talk to her. It's really, we go everywhere in our conversations. Every single place in our conversation, we go there. We talk about everything. There's nothing left off the table. And I appreciate that. But what I don't tolerate is people where y'all want to call me and argue with me. I'm not giving y'all that narrative this year. I'm not arguing back with y'all. However you feel that way, continue to feel that way. I'm not proving my point, because I don't have to prove my point to nobody. It is what it is. I say what I said. You're going to say what you said. You're telling me spirituality ain't real. I'm telling you, then you don't know yourself, because you are a spirit. So if you don't know your spirit, then how can you ever talk to me about spirituality if you don't know your spirit? I know mine. Do you know yours? Because obviously your higher self, your higher spirit is connecting to me, talking to me to tell me the things that I need to say to you. So obviously y'all disconnected, not me. But that's what the thing about spirituality is. You don't have to defend spirituality. It would defend you. And when I learned that, like, I don't have to go in. I don't have to tell people, oh, you should try this. No, I'm not doing that this year. You will see through me. It works. If you want to know how to get to the level where I'm at, I got the things to get you there. There ain't no problem with it. I have no problem with that. I sat on Clubhouse in 2020. I love my sister Tashira, by the way. Let me clap for her again. And one day Tashira talks to me. She's like, man, I went in this group and I gave out these PDFs. Sis. Like, I didn't know how much time that really took. Like, but you were doing it for a lot of people at one time. Like, you know, like, I really appreciate that. She's like, but I never really knew what you were doing until you did it. You actually... Until she was saying, till she actually did it. She's like, you know, and then I took my time. I did it. I didn't know how much time it actually took. You were really taking out a lot of time to give people free information. People are like, what are you talking about? I literally mean, guys, free information, free bands. Like, if you normally you were going to have to pay for the books that I got. I gave out books to help out every single part of spirituality to the person I was talking to. Like, hey, you know what? I got a few books spiritually. I will see what they need and I'll send it to them. Like, literally, I sent over maybe 20,000 people PDFs, and I got the emails to prove it. And it's so crazy. I sent 20,000 people PDFs to help them out spirituality. Different things that help them out on different levels of spirituality. Like, hey, this is what I feel like helps. I did it myself. I'm not going to send you something that I don't believe in. That's one thing I do not do. I'm not sending anybody any information when it comes to spirituality, healing, or, you know, like chakra work, crystals, none of that, astrology. I'm not going to send you some information I don't agree with and I did not read myself. Like, I'm not that spiritual leader. I'm a spiritual leader. I'm a real one. Like, okay, like, I know this works because it worked with me. So I know if you really do it and you take this serious, it's going to work. I'm talking about One of my most famous PDFs that I gave out to people is the Inner Child Journal. When I say this PDF works, if you do it, it works. It targets the inner child, helps you connect with your inner child again, helps you understand about how to heal certain parts of your relationship and different stuff like that. Yes, this works. Did I give this out for free? I did. I gave it out for free to over 20,000 people. Sat there and gave out information. So don't sit up there and say, oh, well, the information ain't out there. It is. If you ask me, I probably will send it to you. Hey, you know what? All you got to do is DM me. DM me on any social media platform. Guess what I'm going to do? Send you the information I got. Here you go. Because some girl, you know what? Me and some lady, we were having a conversation in one of those spiritual groups. And she was saying something about like how two things couldn't coexist. And I was like, well, I went in and I stated my piece. And I said, so you're talking about Jesus. Some people's spiritual guides could be Jesus. You're saying that you can't be spiritual and believe in Jesus. It doesn't make sense. And I'm not going to go there on that topic today, but we will talk about it a different day. But that ain't got nothing to do with me on how somebody personally feels. So what I was telling her, I said, so if you feel like I'm wrong, then give me the information to tell me what I need to do. And she said, you know what? You're right. As a spiritual person. So I said, how are you being spiritual? How can you sit over here and talk about a Christian if you're doing the same thing a Christian person is doing? They'll talk about a person and not help them. Are you going to help if you feel like this person shouldn't believe in this? Tell them what they should. Give them the information on what they should believe in. When I say this lady sent me over, oh my gosh, it had at least 1,000 books in it. She sent me an attachment through an email with over 1,000 books in it, talking about the ancestors, talking about what people believe in Africa, how we got disconnected from different things. And then some of the stuff she sent me was about how Black people were here. We never came from Africa. The Black people who are from here, we never came from Africa. So she had a lot of information on spirituality and different stuff like that. So I really feel that she kind of got what I was saying and she apologized to me. Listen, she went in for a long time because I seen that she was attacking this girl because this girl said she believed in Jesus and she was spiritual. She went in, and I don't like when people know me, I do not like when people are mistreating other people. I don't like that. And I stand for complete justice. People be like, what are you talking about? I stand for justice all day and tomorrow. I stand for justice. So when she went in on that girl, and I'm like, all right, so what's up? Because I believe Jesus is my spiritual guy. Jesus ain't got to be yours. I believe he was a person. I believe he lived. I believe he did everything they said he did. Do I believe his story is kind of fabricated? They kind of left some things out? Yeah. Do I believe that they went in and they're like, somebody lost their son and people glorify that? Yeah. You get what I'm saying? But who's to say that Jesus isn't the way? Who isn't to say that Jesus isn't a spiritual guide? Who said that? You're saying that, okay, you talk spirituality, you talk your angels, your ancestors, you talk spiritual guys. Who said that Jesus can't be this girl's spiritual guide? And she's like, and I said, and if you feel like they're wrong, and I said, well, how about this? Jesus is my spiritual guide. You don't want Jesus on your side? Jesus on my team. What's good? And she's like, you know what? I don't want to go there with you. And then she went in, and I said, but you being a spiritual teacher, you said you teach this all the time, but then you talking all this, but you're putting someone else down while trying to help them and teach them the real. What that look like? If you try to teach someone the truth about what to believe in, what does that look like when you're putting someone down? Okay, I would never tell someone the person you believe in what you believe in isn't true, because technically it can be true. It can all be true. I studied world religion, guys, last semester. No lie. It really blew my mind. People be like, what? Yes, bro. it blew my mind how every religion is connected. Every single religion, and they have available for people to believe in, is all connected as one. Let's clap for that. No lie, guys. It's connected. It's connected. I don't know. Yeah, it's Bluetooth connected. Connected. So at some point, maybe we need to just stop looking at a religious cap, and we need to start looking at how can we help this person grow? How can we do better? What is better? You get what I'm saying? Like different things like that. Like how can we make everything come together to the point where we don't hate each other for what they believe in? Because spirituality, you're not supposed to do that. So when I told a girl in the group, and I was like, hey, like, well, you feel like Jesus can't be a spiritual God, then send me the information to tell me why he can't. And she's like, you know what? You're right. And she apologized to me. Like, I guess she came down like maybe like a day later. I guess she was tapped in. She's like, I talked to my ancestors. My ancestors told me to come back and apologize to you because you are right. And I should do better because if I am older than you and you are a spiritual teacher, you're a spiritual teacher like I am. I'm not supposed to make someone feel bad about what they believe in. That's not what I'm supposed to do. I am supposed to say, hey, through me, you will see that spirituality works. And I apologize. But she's like, my angels and ancestors told me to come back to personally apologize to you. And she wrote on that post like, hey, guys, like this girl right here, she's very anointed. Like, listen to her. But we should not be on here targeting someone trying to bring more of a division into spirituality. We do not need that, people. We do not need the division in spirituality to the point where we are hurting other people instead of waking them up. Because that's all we're supposed to do, technically, right? You're supposed to wake people up. You're supposed to give them the information that they need. And I was like, because that's what Jesus did, right? Y'all always like to dismiss this story, but that's what Jesus technically was doing. Jesus said, walk on water, do what I do. You could do the same thing too. Nobody missed, y'all missed that line? Or was I the only person that called that line? Let me clap for me. And what are they teaching people now? They're teaching people, hey, like your mind, we can do a lot of stuff. You have to know that you can do this. We, as black people, we are gods. You feel me? I'm a goddess. I'm a goddess and a god. So it's a little bit different for me. So there's some stuff that I can do that most people can't do. But what I'm saying to y'all is, what happened if we just start training our brain to do all the things they said we can't do? Oh, you can't fly. But what happened if we trained our mind to fly? And now people starting to fly around. That's because we always could. Now you see them people that they set something out and whoosh, they move their hand and then it'll move. What is that? Guys, this is spirituality. This is us returning back to our original form. Like, yes, do I believe they spray stuff in the air? Yes, I do. Some days I'll be like, you know what? I feel like there's something missing in our atmosphere when it comes to like breathing. There's a lot of things that I feel like I have my own conspiracy theory on. But what I want to tell people is y'all got to start really tapping in, guys, like, and really knowing you and your spirit, basically, is what I'm going to say. But that's it. But you see how, like, in this conversation, I really didn't argue with that girl. It was basically like I did see her attacking someone, but I wanted to show her what she was doing, but I showed it to her in a different way. But what I'm not doing this year, oh no, I'm not arguing with her, so I can't do it. I don't have the time, the patience, the effort, the money. I don't get paid to argue with a soul. So if I feel like you're going to call me to argue with me, guess what? We won't be arguing. You won't even have a conversation with me ever again. You will never get a response. I'm not going there with y'all. Like, and sometimes it'd be with friends and family too. Like, you got to know when to have boundaries with them. Like, just because they feel like something's okay does not mean it's okay with you. Like, you got to know what's good for you. Don't allow people to tell you something that isn't true either, guys. Like, I'm telling y'all, like, don't allow people to put y'all down. Don't put yourself down for someone else. This is the one thing I learned that I used to do back in the day most of the time. And I want to help people out because this helped me out. You know what I don't do? I don't say someone is better than me. If you see me giving myself praise and you say, oh, you're speaking from an ego point of view, you know what I'm going to tell you? you better leave me alone. Why would you call it ego if I used to hype everybody else up like that, but I didn't hype myself up? I never really gave myself praises the way I gave other people praises. Like, oh, this person, they're good at giving advice. I'm excellent at giving advice. I used to give advice when I was little. Check my resume. That was 3-4 years old giving good advice. Excuse me. I won't give you more praises than I give myself. Excuse me if I take a moment to love myself. I will not allow someone to make me feel like I can't love myself publicly and loudly. You will not say that's my ego talking. Like, hey, you know what? I'm a spiritual person and I love my gifts. You can't be mad at me for shouting out my gifts. Like, hey, I don't miss nothing. Nothing. And I thank my spirit. I thank my spiritual team. I thank my angels, my ancestors. I thank Mother Earth. I thank the universe. I thank God. Like, you can't be mad at me. You cannot be mad at me for loving on myself and loving on myself loudly. I will not allow someone to do that to me. You know what? If I notice you do, guess what I'm going to do? You know what? That's your opinion. But you know what I got to do? If I'm there in person, I'm like, I'm going to walk away. Or if I'm on the phone, I'm like, let me call you back. And a lot of times when you tell people you're going to call them back, I think the thing that happens for real, and I'm going to make sure y'all know this, is they actually get to sit with what they just said to you to figure out why she want to call me back. Oh, she sensed what I was doing and she didn't like it. You know what? And then that's when I get that apology text. You know what, Keita, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that. I was just really having a bad day. I wanted to argue with somebody and I kind of wanted to take it out on you. Why you wanted to take it out on me for? Because the only reason why you would want to do that is because this behavior has been done to you. So now you think this behavior is okay and it's not. And that's something that I will not tolerate from anybody. That's fine. That's cool. And that's dandy. But you want to know one thing you will not do with me is play with me. Slap that on something. Nah, baby. You won't play with me and I won't play with you. And the time is 111. So I know somebody, if you've been seeing 111 on the clock, that's probably for you. Like, you know that you have been in situations, even if it's with a customer. Y'all can tell when customers are having a bad day. You don't have to keep provoking them to continue to have a bad day. Oh, you're having a bad day. So let me go ahead and make your day a lot worse. Like, prime example. Like, have y'all ever went to like a McDonald's? And you could tell the girl on the speakerphone is having a bad day. Okay. She's like, oh, I'm mad. I ain't had a break yet. I kind of wanted to take a break and my manager's not giving me a break yet. Cause this is what happens at restaurants. Okay. And the girl comes off rude. Now she know the ice cream machine is up. Okay. Now y'all know, y'all done been to McDonald's. If you live in the USA, you know McDonald's USA. They ice cream machine typically always be down. Okay. So what happens is instead of her, she'll want to make your day horrible. And she'll be like, you know what? Our ice cream machine, even though it's up, she'll be like, our ice cream machine is down. Everything you want, you order it. We don't have it. Like, so what you doing here ordering? Like, what's wrong with you? I remember the other day I went into, it was just yesterday. I went to White Castles. I bought my grandma some White Castles because she said she wanted some. So I bought my grandma some White Castles, guys. And the lady, I'm like, so do you have habanero cheese? She was like, no, we don't have habanero cheese. I'm like, all right, so what kind of different cheese y'all got? And then she lists habanero cheese. I said, so can I get habanero cheese? She's like, yeah. I was like, you know what? They'll let me know one, you weren't listening, but also you could be having a bad day because you mad because your thing keep dinging. Like, y'all keep having to do extra work. Like, that's not my problem. That's what you get paid for. But some people do stuff. They want to see you upset, like, because they might be upset. I'm just giving y'all examples, like, to pay attention to. Really. And someone that's upset, guys, like peep games, if they're upset and they're mad, right, and they're super flaming hot mad, and you know they're mad and they tell you about their bad day. Now, if any point in this conversation they snap off on you and they like really start going in on you, even about stuff you're not talking about, that means that they're trying to give you an energy that belongs to someone else. they should need to give that energy to someone else. But they're also putting this energy out into the universe. And so what people don't understand, I want to break something down universally. If you call my phone and I'm on my high vibration, okay, I'm all this love. You feel the love coming from me. You feel the abundance coming from me, correct? And you call my phone just to argue with me, and then you give me all this bad energy. What do you think is going to happen to the universe when you're dealing with universal energy? Let's take a thing, right? So the problem is with this is now this energy has to go somewhere and never hit me. Where's this energy going to go, guys? Somebody, anybody, break it on down. Break it down for me. Where's this energy going? This person put out this energy. I've been putting out good energy even while I'm talking to them. So imagine the energy that's coming back to me. Nothing but good. Clearing energy, high energy, love energy, abundance energy. Imagine that, guys. Full circle energy. Full circle. I get the good energy back. So this person put out bad energy and it was being spiteful to be mean to me, to be hurtful, to say hurtful things because this is how they feel on the inside. So guess what happens? This energy comes smack back dead at them. And now they don't understand, like, what happened? Why every time I talk to this girl and I'm mean to her, all this bad energy keeps happening to me? Because that's the energy you were giving to me. That energy has to return somewhere else. You didn't transmute it. You didn't transmute that energy. No, you did not. Let's talk about it, guys. Did this person transmute the energy? No. Like, hey, like transmuted it means, hey, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't have been mean to you and I'm sorry. I apologize. This is kind of like you put something out, but you apologize for doing it. And so now you're trying to make it right. That's called like a transmuting. But technically, did you transmute it? Because technically you shouldn't even said it. Okay? And so now it's like this energy has to come back to you. Like if you were deliberately trying to be mean to someone, you don't think that that's going to come back to you? Like at all? I remember the other day I saw my sister make a post. She said, man, I put out into the universe sickness and then sickness came and found me. I am upset. I know now not to speak that because it's going to come back. Like people don't understand. Is that a true statement? What she said? Yeah. Hey, if you do anything bad to someone, whether you try to make it right, that energy still got to come back to you. People don't understand that. Like, no, baby, it's still got to come back to you some way, somehow. You can fix it and say you sorry. Like the universe responds to that. But in a way, and it's 11:11, guys, make a wish, make a wish, make a wish. But I have to speak on it, guys. And y'all know I only speak on the real and what I feel like is real and what I feel like can actually help people out because these are the things that help me out. And people don't understand that. Like, really, this stuff helped me out. And y'all got to understand, I have boundaries with people. I'm a person, I have big boundaries with people. I love me. And so I love me enough for the both of us. Y'all heard the song. And I really do, guys. And so I'm going to wrap this episode up. And here's what I want to tell people. Stop allowing people to provoke you in conversations. If you know that they're trying to make you angry, you know that they... Like, please believe that. Please believe their attitude at all costs. Like, if you think they have an attitude, guys, hold people at that. I'm telling you, I hold people responsible for their half. If I know for a fact you have an attitude and you call my phone, guess what's going to happen? We're going to get off this phone. We're going to get off this phone. I'm not talking to you. I'm not giving you that energy. You don't even deserve that energy back, what you just try to give me. I'm not arguing with you. Don't call me people just to argue because you know I have a different view. You know I'm going to always speak my view. You cannot call my phone no more and get that airplay off on my ride. And so I just want to encourage y'all to do the same. Hold people responsible for the conversations that they give y'all. Hold people responsible for everything they give to you. And don't accept anything less than what you deserve. This is not that year. This is 2023 over here. But in Ethiopia, we all know, baby, it's an 8-year difference. So I'm 26, technically speaking. But I just want to throw that out there. But I'm not tolerating that this year at all. Because right now it's 2015 in Ethiopia. But right now over here it's 2023. However, this, whatever they got going on is making time speed up. They need to stop. But I'm just telling y'all know I'm funny at the same time giving out information. But guys, for real, stop allowing people to do this to y'all, to anger you because they're angry in the inside. Have boundaries. Tell people you called them back. It's okay to walk away from a conversation, even if it's your boss. I'm not doing that. I see that you upset. You're angry. You feel like you should take that out on me like I'm your doormat. I'm not. When you're better in a better energy and you want to speak with me with love, then come back and talk to me. But until then, you cannot get that conversation with me at all. And guys, don't feel less for people than you feel for yourself. I'm telling you that. I was just talking to somebody about this. I don't know who needs to hear this. I used to look out for people because I felt sorry for them. And I dealt with certain men because I felt sorry for them. I'm not dealing with somebody I feel sorry for. No, I can't feel more sorry for myself than you. I gotta be okay, but I'm not going to be with somebody I feel sorry for. Y'all got to understand that. I have dated men that I felt sorry for, like, oh my gosh, you never really experienced a real woman. Let me give you that negative ghostwriter. You won't get that from me. Not today, not tomorrow, not ever. Oh yeah, your situation might be sad, but I can't say that your situation is more sad than mine. No, we're both going through the same thing, bro. We are both human beings at this current moment. You might be a different species, so am I. But the whole thing is, we're both going through something. And I love me too. So people pay attention. Like, 'cause some people do a guilt trip on you. Nah, baby, you need to do a guilt trip on yourself. I'm not tolerating that. I won't tolerate that from anybody, any man, anything at all. You got to make sure that you love yourself the same way you love other people. Like, I'm telling y'all, like, I don't do that. I don't give people more emphasis over myself, like, or my family. Like, no, your situation is not more sadder than mine. I'm not going to tell you. I don't want you to feel sorry for me. This is not that. You get what I'm saying? This is not that. And I will not do that. I will not tolerate that. So I just want to give you all that information. But guys, thanks for tuning in with the Pretty Red ENT show. Make sure you go follow me on Instagram, TikTok. Y'all know I love Snapchat. So go find me on Snapchat at the Pretty Red ENT. Pretty Red ENT with 3 fire signs behind it. That's my name on Snapchat. And on Instagram at the Pretty Red ENT show. Come find me, DM me. On my website, you can leave comments. I'll definitely comment back. Make sure you follow me on my website, guys. Like, tap in, tune in with me when I go live. I am going to start like open narratives where I do like have people come on and they can speak live. I now know how to work my website, guys. Shout out to me. But thanks for tuning in, everybody. I really appreciate you. You are very magical people. If no one told you they loved you today, just know I love you today. And I pray that you feel the love in the air. I pray that the person that is made for you come find you. You get a call from them. You get an answer from them. I pray that You know, like you get the love that you're searching for, because some people, they like love a different way, even with them being healed. Like I know a friend, she's healed, and she just like to be loved the way she do. I can't tell you that. Like I don't prefer that, but you do. So I'm support you in what you want. I don't want to pray against something that you don't want, but I do wish love on everybody. That's just my thing. I hope Cupid strike everybody. Pop, 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 pop. Give everybody love, because I think everyone deserves to feel love, be loved, and receive love. Feel me? One of my very powerful affirmations I will give out is I am love, I am loving, and I am lovable. Make sure you say that 3 times in the mirror. Say it in the morning. Say it in the middle of the day, and say it at night for the next 3 days, and tell me how your life going, okay? All right, guys. Shout out to the Pretty Red ENT show. Hit me up. You know what it is. But your girl Goddess Nikita is out, a.k.a. Pretty Red ENT.